What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy Julien Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, physique and bodybuilding coach. Yeah, that's all now. That's all on there too now. Haha. Yeah. So I am Julien Stoutt and all of those monikers, and I am all of that what I said. And I am here to use mindset, encouragement, accountability, and nutrition to help you be the best you. Guys, we're about to take off and class is in session. Well, first of all, how many of y'all are watching the NBA Finals right now? So I'm watching them basically closer to the tail end because usually by the time I'm done with boxing or done with training, it's usually on the tail end and I don't get to see all of it. I did watch all of Monday's game, and hey, this is a good series. I have to say, even though my Knicks are not in the series right now, I have to say that this is a quality series. I'm not looking at any of these games as this team is going to get washed. Not even the games where one team is up by 20 or one team is up by 15. I don't think this game is a wash until the game is clearly evident, like one of the games where Oklahoma City did blow them out. But outside of that, what do y'all think of the NBA Finals? Tell me what you think. And by the way, while we are here, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe, share. And let me know that you are here. Give me a 1 in the chat if you are live with me right now. If you are not live with me, do me a favor and go ahead and put a 1 in the comment section. All right? In the meantime, you see the title in the thumbnail, Where Success Lives. Make sure my mic is on. I think it is on. Yes, I am live. So, not too long ago, I was approached by someone who was letting me know that their diet was not on point. And they were really down on themselves. I have to say, they were really down on themselves in regards to how they look at things, because they want to be successful in their future endeavors. And by being, by their physique mattering to their profession, they were really down on themselves because they felt like anytime they have a personal setback in their endeavors, their diet goes to the wayside. And one of the things that I had to do when I sat down with them is I sat down and I started to remind them is when you are in a fitness situation, when you're dealing with a health situation or fitness situation, you have to act as though you are weak. Do not enter any realm of discipline or any realm where discipline resides from a position of strength, because you will soon find out you may not be as strong as you think you are. Now, a lot of people, I'm not really technically going to get political real quick, but I'm going to mention a little bit of politics. And what I want to do is I want to put things in perspective. Mike Pence, people made fun of him because he refuses to be alone with women that are not his wife, that are not his children. He is acting on a level of impropriety to avoid impropriety, right? And a lot of people are trying to suggest that, in some cases that he's weird for doing that, right? And to be honest with you, it's not about whether or not you're weak. Sometimes you're strong enough to say no. Most of the time you're strong enough to say no. And the fact is, what you don't want is anybody making any assumptions that there's something improper going on. So he is coming at it from a position of weakness. He is not saying he's weak, but he is approaching it from a position of weakness. So that way that leaves no doubt that how he moves is from a position of weakness. Okay? I don't want people to mistake that, whether I'm for or against Mike Pence or anything like that. That's not where I'm going with it. I am of the understanding of his logic when it comes to said action. He is coming at it from a position of weakness. He does not want to be in a position to fail. So his true strength is to avoid the situation altogether. So this person that I was talking to let me know that they go out. And that's when they find themselves at their most vulnerable, where they eat messed up, or they find themselves indulging in things that they really shouldn't be indulging in while trying to achieve a newer physique, right? And what I told him was, you have to approach this from a standpoint of weakness. You go out, when you find yourself eating craptacular, what are you doing when you eat craptacular? Answer came out of their mouth is, I go out with my friends, right? So that's the only time you mess up. And sometimes when my mom or my dad cooks certain meals or whatever, then I mess up then too, right? However, the mom and dad thing could be more mitigated because you're with them, and when you're with them, that's when you do what you do. However, it is clearly apparent based on the consultation that I did with them that being outside for long periods of time is what wrecks them, right? So what I advise them to do is move in from a position of weakness. You're going out, you go out and you tend to be hungry when you go out. Guess what? Stop being hungry. Eat high fiber, high protein, moderate carb, low fat foods right before you leave. Your last bite should be the last thing you do before you hop in your car and go about your business. And drink plenty of water. You do those three things, or four things, you should see more success. And also, how long are you staying at these shindigs? Answer was long enough to get hungry. So, okay, there's wings, there's wings, there's, French fries, there's hamburgers, there's everything out there, right? And what I said to them is, why are you staying that long? That's the number one question. Why are you staying that long? If you need to stay that long, cool. But you have to look at this like you're an alcoholic. If you were an alcoholic and you were going out with friends and your friends know you're an alcoholic, now that does not mean that your friends should, walk on eggshells completely around you. But what I mean is that your friends would be still mindful of what you are doing and the goal, what your lifestyle is like now. I can't be around alcohol. I can't be in the vicinity of alcohol, especially right now, or especially when I'm vulnerable, especially when I am in a mindset that will prevent me from being successful. My microphone over a little bit, right? So because of that, so what happens is you then, if your friends are not understanding and they're not trying to at least assist you in your journey, you need to find new friends or avoid them like the plague and meet them on your terms, not theirs, right? So where does success live? If you've been listening to me up until this point, you should know that success lives in failure. The reason why we practice is so that way when the test comes, we won't fail. So that the time for practice is to fail as much as humanly possible. So that way when the bright lights and the heat is on, you're not going to fail. You have no chance in failing. You understand what I'm saying? I am still an enemy of homework. I don't want practice to be imposed upon your lifestyle. I want practice to be your lifestyle. So for instance, I don't want people to have to bring home weights to get in shape, or forcing my clients to take weights home to get in shape. That's not going to help them get in shape. It has to be wanted, or it has to fit their lifestyle, or they have to make room for it in their lifestyle in order to be successful, right? Practice is where failure is, right? That's where failure should be happening, all in practice. But when you get outside, when you out there for real, that's when you should be actually succeeding. So when you put it into practice, what you should be practicing is, how am I going to navigate myself when I'm outside? Do I have the knowledge of what these things do to me when I am in transit? How I eat when I'm in transit? How I eat when I'm in person? How I eat when I'm around my friends? How I eat when I'm around family? How I eat when I'm by myself? What are you practicing? And once you put yourself, and then yes, there is life. Yes, you're going to have Thanksgiving dinner. Yes, you're going to have birthday dinner. If your birthday happens to fall in line with an event, so say for instance, you are a bodybuilder, right? So if you're a bodybuilder, and you know you have a show at or around your birthday, meaning the show is after your birthday, what do you think you should do? My advice to you is celebrate your birthday after the show, right? After the season. If the show is, if you're going for the Olympia, which is the one big show and that's all you're going for, after Olympia, celebrate your birthday. Don't go crazy, because you know your limitations, but at the same time, go ahead and indulge on your birthday. You know you don't consume alcohol during this period and this period, then, and the period that you normally consume alcohol falls in on an event that is most dear to you, whether it be boxing, wrestling, MMA, bodybuilding, all of that. You should not touch any of that alcohol, even though it was traditionally meant for your birthday. You know you got an event that you have to meet, a demand that needs to be met. So save it for after your birthday, or after the event. Save your birthday till after the event. Yes, your birthday was a week ago, but the event is tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow to celebrate your birthday. I mean, I'm not saying don't say happy birthday and, take a picture and kiss your wife and hug your mom and hug your kids and all of that stuff. I'm talking about the celebration. Don't do it then. What are we doing? That wouldn't make sense, right? So your success is in failure. Note, write down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck of how you failed. Make sure it is etched in your brain or etched on paper. Make sure you know how you failed, and then make the adjustments of that failure. Now, if that failure is beyond your control, and food usually is not out of your control, but Like I was talking to my wife this afternoon, if you had Wendy's, McDonald's, and Domino's to choose from because you're in a food desert right now, but your blood sugar is about to drop, but you also can't go crazy, where would you go? Do you know? Do you have a plan? Do you have an idea? And the answer was no, in fairness to her. And I said I would choose McDonald's. Why? Because McDonald's, I'm not saying McDonald's is ideal, because for the people that are out there, I don't want to hear no bull crap. What I'm telling you is that if you are in a non-ideal situation, you only have 3 choices, and it's either life or death, because if your blood sugar drops too low, you could die, right? And you know full well that these are the only 3 choices you got. Where are you going? I would choose McDonald's. Now, note, I haven't eaten at McDonald's in years. As a matter of fact, ironically, the last time I ate at McDonald's, my blood sugar was low. So, but what I'm getting at is, when you find yourself in a position where that's what's happening, you could go McDonald's, get a chicken sandwich, a grilled chicken sandwich, right? Either get a water or get a tea, an unsweetened tea, and call it a day. That's all you have to do. Now your blood sugar will be regulated. You didn't overspike your blood sugar because you didn't eat too much carbs, because the carbs is in the bread. You didn't have sugar. My wife doesn't do sugar in her tea, so that's a good thing, right? So she doesn't have to worry about sudden sugar spikes. She's going to do fine. So as a result of that, that's the plan. She knows that when she's in one of these no-win situations, she's still going to come out better than if she went in there and went full idiot. Right? So the main focus is knowing where your weaknesses are. If you know you're the Charlie Sheen type, meaning there's not a woman that you don't like, guess what? You stay away from them. Or you are never alone with one. You're never alone with one. Period. And I'm not saying that women are the problem. You're the problem. You being Charlie Sheen, or you being the person who has Charlie Sheen-like qualities, and you know you trying to remain faithful, and you know you're trying to remain on the good side of your wife, guess what? You stay away from women. Period. If you do not have the strength to say no, that's what you do. Stay away from them. Or if you have the strength to say no, but you just don't want to even be bothered with the innuendos of it looking bad, you stay away from them and not be alone. Same thing goes for men, women. If you feel like there's not a guy that you can't say no to, you stay away from him. If you're in a position of power, right? If you know that your livelihood is predicated on your image, then guess what you do? You're never alone with a guy. If you're, this whole, choosing the bear thing, then don't be alone with a guy. You don't have to worry about choosing the bear. You're not alone until you want to be alone. And somebody will know your intent with that individual. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, you know where you are weak. You know that Snickers is your weakness. Don't eat them. Stay as far away from them as humanly possible unless you are treating yourself to one. You know ice cream is your weakness. Stay as far hell away from it as humanly possible. Since I have been on my fitness journey, quote unquote, since I've been on a grind to getting my body back into the shape that I usually have it in, I have stayed far and away from Ben & Jerry's American Dream Cone, Stephen Colbert's American Dream Cone ice cream. I have stayed far away from it. You want me to turn around and lose all sense of who I am as a human being? put one of those in front of me, I'll tear through that whole pint, all 1,150 calories, plus or minus 20% every single time. Right? I haven't had one, true story, I haven't had one since school's been out. I had my celebratory pint Memorial Day weekend. I also had my celebratory weekend, alcohol endeavor. And after that, I haven't touched anything since then, right? Now, it's up to my wife whether we do Juneteenth or July 4th. It's up to her which one we're going to quote unquote indulge in alcohol in, but that is specifically her choice. All right. And then when whatever she chooses, I'll go along with it and I'll move on, because whichever one I choose, the other one won't be, if that makes sense. Right? I don't keep those things in my house unless I intended to eat it. So right now, there's been times I've been having chocolate cravings, and guess what? There is no chocolate in the house, because I know I'm going to eat it. There's no soda in the house. There is alcohol, but because of the strict flow, number one, I don't drink that often. And number two, since that is a strict flow for me, I know when I intend to consume. I don't need to worry about, because there's only enough alcohol, specifically the alcohol me and my wife consume together. There's only enough alcohol in the house for us to consume for the rest of the year. Right? So until my birthday runs around, I think I have enough alcohol to last to my birthday. So until March of next year, there's no possibility that I'm either going to run out or I'm going to stay disciplined, right? Because I've already budgeted it out for what that is. But that's the trick of the game, where success lives is in your failure. A lot of us, I turn around and I made a post on both Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube actually, and says, you think failure is the end. I think failure is the beginning. Now, that's not making me better than anyone, right? What it's saying is that this is how I look at life. This is how I approach life. If I failed at something, it's only the beginning. If I lost in a boxing match, if I lost in a Yu-Gi-Oh match, losing is the beginning. Not the end. It's the beginning. And it's then when I turn around and I refine myself, I dig in, I look into more things, and I grow as an individual, as opposed to just throwing my hands up and walking away. Now, that does not mean that you stay in toxic situations trying to succeed. That's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm suggesting is where you failed, right? So let me give you an example. What I mean by where you failed. Okay. Your marriage isn't going right because you are infidelis, right? It's not up to you whether you leave or stay. It's up to your spouse whether they leave or stay, or whether you leave or stay. It's up to them, because you violated their trust, not the other way around, right? So since you violated their trust, it's up to them to trust you and give you an opportunity to learn from your mistake. Or if your marriage ends, you know where you made your mistake, learn from it, and in your next relationship, don't do that crap again, right? However, toxic is on the other side of that fence. If it's happening to you, you don't have to stay in that. Oh, maybe I should, if I only washed the dishes more, she wouldn't have cheated on me. Man, get out of here with that. Stop it. That's not a you problem, that's a them problem. You can fix you, you can't fix them. Just like I said with your friends. If your friends like to drink all day, every day, guess what? That's what it's going to be. You can't stop them from drinking. You can't stop them from partying. You can't stop them from doing drugs. You can't stop them from selling drugs. You can't stop them from none of that. So what are you going to do? You're going to worry about what they think of you when they're messing with your livelihood? When they're messing with your ability to be successful? Really? So then you deserve to fail. Over and over and over again until you get it. That's where we live now. You understand what I'm getting at? You can't expect other people to just do what you want them to do. You have to set yourself up to ensure what you want done gets done. And if the people around you are not willing to support your endeavor, then find new friends or avoid them at the moment because you know they drink. And that's their prerogative to drink. You know you're an alcoholic. Don't be around them. You're a drug addict. They smoke weed. Don't be around them. They like to hunt women. You're married. Don't be around them when they're in that activity. Does that make sense? And when I say hunt women, I don't want people to be tripping and thinking that I'm like talking about, no, we're talking about going out, trying to find women to do things that are in positive nature, willing, participating adult activities, right? That's what I'm talking about. We ain't over here doing anything to women that we shouldn't be doing. All right, we ain't with that. All right. But what I am saying is, if these are the lifestyle choices of your friends and you know you're on a different planet, guess what? You cannot and should not reside there. Mike Pence knows that people in his line of work tend to do things in an unsavory manner at times, and he knows because of how things look, because of the image of how things are, he knows to stay as far as hell away from it as humanly possible. So that way he doesn't get caught up in any scandal. Obama, same difference. He didn't necessarily stay away from people, but guess what? Everybody that he had around him were people that he trusted with everything. And guess what? No scandals. None. Clinton, on the other hand, I don't know how, I know, based on things, Bush was faithful to his wife, but I don't think he had the concern of imagery of where he is in relation to his wife. This is not political. I'm just stating facts here, right? The point is, they know their weaknesses. They know where they will fail. And because they know where they will fail, they will always be successful. So you know your opponent has a mean right cross. You gonna walk into it, or you gonna stay far as hell away from it? Yeah, they throw other punches really well, but that right cross is nasty. I'll take the uppercut, but I'm protecting it. I'm protecting my face, and I'm protecting that cross with everything I have. Put the word protect in the chat for me if you're watching right now. Put the word protect in there, because that's what you got to do. Protect yourself from the worst case scenario. Whatever the problem is, if it's a left hook, if it's an uppercut, if it's a cross, stay as far as hell away from it as humanly possible, because guess what? If you get caught, you might go to sleep. It's that dire. So if you know that Oreos is your right cross, stay away from them. Don't even go down the cookie aisle. If you are afraid that going down the cookie, you need cookies, but it's the Oreos that'll get you, guess what you do? You send your sister to go get the Oreos. You send your wife to get the Oreos. You send your son or your daughter to go get the Oreos. But you better not go down that aisle. Your kids love Lorna Doones and Pepperidge Farm, and your wife likes Nutter Butters. You hate all of it. It's Oreos that breaks you. Guess what? Nobody brings Oreos into my house, and I am not going down the cookie aisle. You want cookies? Go get them. That's what I would do if I was in that position. Oh, you want ice cream? You could go get all the ice cream you want. Do not bring American Dream Cone, Ben & Jerry's ice cream in my presence, and do not put it in my cart, because I'm not buying it at this time. When I get to my physical shape and I know I'm ready and I want to do what I'm going to do, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the ice cream then. Then I'm going to have it. But until I reach that goal, I'm not even going to look at it, let alone eat it. I don't even go down the ice cream aisle at all. Because I got $4.48 to go get it. I got it, but I ain't spending it. Because guess what? I'm trying to get myself back tight the way I used to be prior to this semester, this school year, this last school year. Does that make sense? Protect yourself from the right cross, or the wrong cross, actually, in this case, right? Well, like I said, do me a favor, put a protect in the chat or in the comments section if you get a chance. I need y'all to understand that success is always attainable. It's always attainable. But the difference in the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and everyone else, the Tiger Woods and everyone else, is they failed when nobody else was looking. They failed when everything wasn't on the line. And sometimes they failed right in front of your face. Sometimes they failed right in front of your face. There's nothing wrong with failure, guys. The one thing that I will always promote is failure is where your strength is. Failure is where your power lies. Monumental failure should be all but avoided. It should all be avoided. Monumental failures. But these micro failures, such as you forgot to wash a dish properly. Micro failures such as you didn't, as a matter of fact, I made a micro failure this morning. I forgot. I went to put a dash cam in my car and I left without the dash cam. How do you like those apples? That's a micro failure, right? What am I going to do the next time? Make sure I have the item that I need in order to get things installed. Make sure I have the item that I need in order to be productive in my endeavor. Like, after this show, I'm going to go box. Don't forget my boxing gloves. Don't forget my water. You see what I'm saying? That type of stuff. Don't forget it. How did you forget it? My wife had to bring it. Luckily, my wife was coming to get her dash cam put in as well at the same location. And luckily, she was coming right after I'm done. So what I had to do was buy a new one and then return the one that I already had. So that way I'm in the flow. Does that make sense? But that was a failure. Now I'm short money until the money comes back into my account. I gotta wait 1 or 2 or 3 days for that money to get back into my account. I'm not gonna belabor it because, like I said, I gotta get ready to go box. And first question I got for y'all is, what do y'all think of the tank tops? How do y'all like it? Let me know. If you want one, let me know and we'll get in touch. I'll give you my email information and you guys can be in communication with me and I will make you as many as you want. I'm gonna charge you a price for them, but this is it. So my Stoutsiders, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.